Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Married to Medicine, Season 10, Episode 10.
Listen here, I need y'all to subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. We are doing a good job on this Married to Medicine, but I think we're talking to ourselves. I see the views, but I don't see the comments. I need y'all to comment. I want to talk to y'all. Blair want to talk to y'all and hear y'all opinion on this, okay? Mm-hmm. It Takes Two needs something from you. Mm-hmm. You ready, Blair?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Toya and Simone meet up. Toya says, Simone had a really long day at the office.
Simone had a long day.
So she is there to have some margaritas and get some Mexican food and just hang out with Toya. So Toya is talking about how Eugene took her out on this date, and she said that she just needs to find nicer ways to say things. And she's also annoyed because why do I have to keep changing? Why do I have to keep trying to do different things with my husband? Simone says, listen, not one person can get stuck in a pattern when it comes to marriage. Toya feels that Eugene is stuck. And Simone asked Toya, why don't you plan a couple of dates? And she says that Eugene is scared to plan things because Toya is so critical. And she tells her, Eugene has said this to Cecil. So listen up and take note. And Toya's like, oh my goodness. Like, he took me to South Carolina and it was horrible. We went on a horse and carriage ride and we learned about history, and I hate history. And Simone tells Toya to cut Eugene some slack and try to fake it till you make it. And I just want to say,
oh, you gonna go?
Toya,
okay, just
say thank you. You don't have to search to find a nicer way to say things. If your husband does something nice for you, thank you, husband. Thank you for the time and the effort and the energy.
Well, what does she say when she feel like it's not a nice thing? She feel like the South Carolina thing wasn't a nice thing, so should she still say thank you for that?
Yes. You can say thank you for somebody's effort and intention. And at the same time, you could say, next time, maybe we can do X, Y, and Z. Toya wants Eugene to be able to read her mind as far as what she wants to do on these dates. And I agree with Simone. You plan a couple that you enjoy. That way, he can learn what it is that you want to do the next time he plans it.
I'm so confused by your analysis right now. I am lost.
Okay.
Because that's what she did, and y'all criticizing her for it. She literally did that on the last episode. She was at the date, and she basically like, thank you for doing the date, but I feel like this was the date for you. Talk about at the butcher, right? But you still say thank you. I feel like she did say thank you. I feel like the problem isn't thank you. Okay. I feel like the problem is y'all not stuck. You need a job.
I think Toya needs to give Eugene some better guidance. Because I feel like they're in the space of trying to get to know each other. Like she says, maybe he don't know what you like these days.
Maybe it's me, but ever since I started watching Married to Medicine, we 10 seasons deep into this, y'all. Congratulations to us, too, for watching it, right? Toya always been in a position of, I can't meet the goal.
Yeah.
Dating Toya. You know what I'm saying? It's always something, right? And I'm like, even when Eugene does this or Eugene does that, and I understand I'm trying my best not to be misogynistic and things like that, basically saying the man pay all the bills, you know what I mean? Like, basically, like, you know, like, you're living rent-free, you're living mortgage-free, you're living stress-free and things like that. Eugene have said, I'm going to take on all the stress. Only thing you have to do is just make sure my sons have a safe place, a safe home, make a house a home and things like that. She even go into details. This is the thing that I say is wrong. Okay. Because I really have no problem with her being taken somewhere that she don't want to be taken to. Like South Carolina for history, I'll be like, I hate it too. I want to go home. But she said that when she grew up, her mother made her clean and things like that to where with bleach and like ammonia and things like that. So she likes a certain way of cleanliness that is very OCD in a way. Yeah. Right? So she was finding ways to basically, I feel like, poke at Eugene besides actually communicate to Eugene. Because she said that maybe I should say, are you going to leave it like that? And things like that. Give an example of, oh yeah, I'm going to say that. Instead of actually communicating, because he's not a kid. Yeah. You don't say, are you going to leave it like that to a grown man who pays everything? Okay, I'm going to tuck in my misogynistic away. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to put it away for now. But you don't talk like that to a man who decides to take on the burden of life, all of it. You say, hey, there's a certain way that I like the kitchen or I like the things like that. And you talk to him like the grown man that he is, you know? But I feel like Toya is talking to Eugene and basically using this like we are stuck. We are in a place where we need to learn each other as a way to basically to ignite that fire in Eugene, not in their relationship. It's different. Because in a relationship, Simone gave examples of why don't you plan something? And she said, why I gotta plan something? Because don't you want to reignite your relationship? So my thing is like, why don't you also take on the burden of, oh, we're stuck. Yeah. Not you're stuck. That's the problem that I have with Toya. I don't feel like I don't think she means when she said we're stuck. I think she means you're stuck, Eugene. Because every time that she talked about how stuck they are, she talked about Eugene used to. He used to, chase after me, and they showed all these flashback pictures, Cabo, Virgin Islands, just giving some examples. But it's never, maybe the change that needs to happen is, Toya, you need to chase after him and ignite that fire. Be that fire that you want for yourself, be it for him. That's my only issue with Toya, because I feel like that's why I always go back to Dr. Heavenly Great Words. Toya need a job, because I feel like you're bored. Yeah. And when you're bored, you nitpick at stuff, and you kind of don't live in the real world. You get what I'm saying? The real world where people are tired when they get home, where they're scared. Eugene was scared when the IRS was on his behind and he had to downsize and go things like that and had to work double time. That man was scared. He ain't gonna say it, but I know man language. You know what I'm saying? Because he's like, yo, if I don't get us out of this, we are gonna be in trouble. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So that's my only thing with Toya. I have no problem with her not liking trips. You are free to like and dislike things. Because if Blair was to take me to South Carolina on history, even though she would never do it herself, I'd be like, we passed Busch Gardens. Where are we going? You know what I mean? So I have no problem with her saying no to things, but I think she nitpicks at Eugene, and a thank you to Blair Point wouldn't hurt. You get what I'm saying? Let's move on, because I can do a whole episode on Toya, but I'm not. Yeah. And Simone, she wrapped up that evening pretty quickly to me. Listen here. Toya's like, you can't hang? I think Simone reached her quota of Toya for the day. She like, listen here, man. Listen here, man. Because Simone think Toya is not the smartest cookie in the jar. Listen here, man. That was one of my favorite scenes of this whole franchise. Continue. So Dr. Heavenly is at work, and she has T.S. Madison in her chair. What's up, T.S.? Yes, and T.S. has taught Heavenly a lot about the plight of trans people, and she says they just want to be loved and accepted like everybody else. Facts. And T.S. Madison gives us some insight into just how, she didn't grow up seeing anyone like her on television, and Black people don't really accept trans people, and just everything she's been through to where she's gotten to where she's at today. You listen here. You ain't got to be for them, but you ain't got to be an enemy either. You get what I'm saying? You can not understand, but at the same time, your ignorance don't got to be a weapon. You get what I'm saying? Do what Heavenly did. Ask questions. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? You may get an answer. Continue. Yeah, well, Dr. Jackie, and this is a scene that we're kind of going back and forth between Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone. Yeah. They're both talking to their patients about semaglutide and using that to help with weight loss. Yeah. So Dr. Jackie's talking to her patient, and her cholesterol levels are high. Her weight is too high. And she's explaining to her that all these things can lead to diseases. And this lady's also a breast cancer survivor, and it has a risk of cancer, being obese as well. So she's trying to help get her to lose weight and make a healthy change. And she has her step on the scale till we find out her weight and I guess her age when it comes to all the numbers. And Dr. Jackie, before the lady steps on, says, I'm in my 20s when I step on the scale, based off of what the age thing was saying for her. Okay. And the lady, she was definitely a much older age based off of all of her weight and health situations. But she tells her, we're going to be able to laugh at this in a while because you're going to be on such a great path towards health. Listen, I'm all for that, but Dr. Jackie, I know you're not in your 20s. Race me right now. Okay. Race you right now. Trust me. You're in your 60s, and if we race, it'd be funny if Dr. Jackie really smoked me, though. Yeah. That'd be wild. I'd be like, she in her 20s. You know what I mean? No, I do like the medicine part to the show of Married to Medicine because she's not gonna show us her married life, right? So listen, if you ain't gonna show me your marriage life, show me the medicine. Show me all the medicine. You get what I'm saying? Continue.
Yeah. And Dr. Simone, so her patient has lost over 20 pounds and she wants to get pregnant. And Dr. Simone's explaining to her that, no, you want to stop the medication before you decide you want to get pregnant. And she also tells her with Georgia, with these abortion laws, you have to you can't get an abortion once there's a heartbeat, and there's a heartbeat when it's like 5 to 6 weeks. And if she were to have an abortion or need to, she would have to have her husband take her out of the state to where it's legal.
You know what's crazy about that? The whole blurred line of that is many times than not, you don't even know that you're pregnant until 4 to 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And things like that.
Yeah.
Until you miss that period.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And you're like, oh, let me get a test. Excuse me. You're like, oh, let me get a test. And by that time, they consider, oh, no, you can't do it.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait a minute. I need a confirmation because usually my period comes every month. You get what I'm saying? Well, they said, 4 to 5 weeks is a heartbeat, and that's murder.
And who's to say if the person can even get an appointment quickly?
Yes.
I took the urine test, and they said an appointment isn't available until 2 weeks from now.
Oh, my goodness.
Then what?
I'm losing my days. You know what I mean?
So, no, these abortion laws are crazy. And I just think about, like, the people, like the teenagers and kids who don't have access to money and transportation in order to get to these other states to get abortions. Yeah. Like, it's just...
Listen here,
terrible.
I'm not gonna say I'm for or against it, but I will say this though: people go find a way.
Yeah,
and you just want to at least provide a safe way. You don't want to push someone to a choice, but you were like, if you are going to make the choice, I want it to where it can benefit your life to where you don't hurt yourself
or die.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. If there's anything else on that scene that stood out to you, Blair?
No,
but there is though to me.
Okay,
what's the name of that medicine?
Semaglutide. Yeah, like the Wegovy, Ozempic.
I'm talking about the main one, the one that makes you not hungry. Is that one?
That's all of those.
Oh, okay. I feel like there was an agenda or a PSA announcement, basically like, hey, y'all, all y'all people getting skinny and things like that. Y'all are taking a diabetic medicine basically for diabetes basically. And she even mentioned it. She said it's going to become an issue eventually because the people that actually have diabetes that need this medicine, y'all taking it because y'all want to fit into y'all dress, but these people need it to live. You get what I'm saying? So I think we are starting to see a rise on those type of medicines and things like that when it comes to people that are not diagnosed with diabetes or things of that nature. And I like the fact that they actually brought attention to it because that's not the first time I heard that medicine being told. I actually know somebody that took that medicine to get skinny and they're not diabetic. So I'm like, that's very interesting that they actually mentioned this on the show. So I was very happy to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Moving on, Eugene and Toya take the boys to the orthodontist.
I like this.
To talk about braces.
Yeah.
They talk to them in the waiting room about how, one of the sons says that athletes get more attention from the girls.
Yes, they do.
And they talk about how Eugene got Toya. Basically, he ran track, and the son said that he got lucky for getting her mom. And they talk about how Eugene took Toya on a date, and he's waiting now for her to take him on a date.
Hold on. Is he waiting for what?
He's waiting for Toya to take him on a date.
So basically, he's waiting for the coming of Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Because listen here, man. If it was about igniting the fire in your relationship, Toya would make sure that fire stay burning. She would fan that flame and make sure she'd be like, you know what? He took me out. I'm going to take him out so we can keep this fire going. But no, she's not about reigniting the fire on her end. She want Eugene to unite that fire, to ignite that fire within himself and things like that. One thing I will say, though, that is happening is the smart guys are in now. Okay. So I think they are a little too young to worry so much about what the girls or who the girls are after at this age and things like that. College is a whole new game, brother. And when college in Atlanta, oh my goodness. Okay. I just know you going to have a fun time if you decide to stay in Atlanta. Yeah. If you decide to stay in Georgia and things like that. Don't worry about so much who the girls are going after in high school. Yeah. They all end up pregnant and broke at the end of the day anyway. Okay. So don't even worry about those type. Listen here, they all do. The head cheerleader, all of them that go after the jocks and stuff like that, you know, even though he said they don't use the word jocks these days, but let's say they go after the jocks and stuff like that, they all end up on the wrong side anyway. Your time is coming, okay? Believe me. And plus, you getting your braces now? Your time is coming, my boy.
Okay.
You know, anything else stood out in that scene?
Yeah, when they actually went back to talk to the dentist, Eugene pointed out to the boys, like, he's Howard, man. He graduated from Howard.
Don't tell me he going to Howard.
So I just thought, just little stuff like that. Like me growing up, my parents would always try to link things for me, like, oh, this person went to a HBCU, or this black person graduated from this school. And, you know, I grew up in the DMV, well, in Maryland, and a lot of my doctors, teachers, different people were black. So I think it is really cool to be able to have that as easily accessible as a child, to be able to point to somebody who is successful. I mean, they have their dad, which is great, but I feel like sometimes that can get lost on a child. That's just my dad. But when it comes to other professionals and people they come across in life, it's just like, oh, wow. Like, yeah, black people are really out here doing things. So I just, that was just a little piece that I thought was just really cute for him to link that for his kids.
Oh, no, it's definitely a great thing. I agree with you 100%, Blair.
Yeah, and 100%. Ashton, their son, he was just happy he got to miss school for the day.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I agree with you too, Ashton. Yeah.
Now we see T,
and
she is feeling down after being diagnosed with endometriosis. T takes G to her doctor appointment, and she talks about having back pain. They review MRI results, and she has a fibroid. The doctor is recommending surgery. The doctor says that she should have less pain, and they would need to wait about 6 months until trying to have a baby after she's healed up a bit. And the doctor tells her that she's handling this really well.
Dr. Heavily, I will never forgive you for planting those seeds in my head. Okay, planting those seeds that she knew she had this disease or had this problem, and she basically got with Dr. Greg for basically the benefits of being with a doctor. I will not forgive you of putting that in my head, because every time I see Sweet Tea, I kind of look at her like this. You know what I mean? I hope everything is going well in her health. Let me just get that as facts. You know what I'm saying? If she knew or if she didn't know before, that doesn't take away the fact that she does have a problem.
And she needs help.
So I hope that she gets the help that she needs. You know what I'm saying? But that doctor's saying, hey, you're taking this pretty well. Usually when I break down to women about, you know, this diagnosis about them, I have to be therapist and doctor.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, that comment did water the seed that Heavenly planted in my head.
Gosh.
And I'm just like, oh my gosh. I don't want that seed to be watered.
I
need it to die.
Is it sprouting?
I don't want to think about tea like that.
Mine's just sprouting out my head.
Oh, goodness.
I mean, she planted that seed in my head, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Dr. G. You know what I mean? But it is what it is.
Yeah.
We hope you get the help you need, Sweet Tea.
Right.
Continue.
Well, Simone and Cecil visit Michael and Miles at their condo. Cecil and Simone are celebrating the fact that the kids are finally out of the house.
Yes.
Simone got a black light so she can look into Michael's bedroom and bathroom.
How come you look at Miles?
She said she don't need to look at Miles.
Listen here.
What does that mean, Dr. Simone?
Stop it. Just because I think Michael played sports. I think he played basketball at one point. Listen here. You don't have to confirm what we thinking outside of the show.
I think Miles had a little girlfriend.
The fact that you say little girlfriend, he was older than Michael.
Yeah,
you
right.
get what I'm saying? He ain't no little girlfriend, no boy. It's like, oh, he should have a little friend. No, that's a man.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
You're right.
He had a girl. You know, Simone, stop it. Okay, stop bringing black. Listen, if you gonna give them a house or give them a condo, you know, I would say, listen here. Since they've been gone, you've been coming over to that condo a lot. Enjoy your house,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Leave the black light alone and things like that. And trust me, men are nasty. Okay, you will be surprised what you find with that black light and things like that, and it won't be in places that you think it should be. You gonna turn on that black light, you gonna be like, it's on the light switch. Yes, boys are nasty. Go ahead, continue with the scene.
Well, Simone is looking forward to these bachelor's degrees when they move into their own homes to start their own families. So
listen, I'm all for that. Hopefully they give Simone what she wants, because she is a doctor. So there is something to education that she holds very high. And guess what, like I said, she's in a privileged position to where she can even though she paid for her kids to be out the house, it does benefit her and things like that, and hopefully and hopefully it works out for them and they continue on with their life and things like that as young men. But
Dr. Jackie is filming a PSA for the Black women's maternal mortality. She has Dr. Simone and Dr. Heavenly there to participate, as well as all the other ladies who end up coming later. They're trying to get Dr. Heavenly to say the right things, but she's messing up the words. They're trying to get emotion. She over here trying to buck at people through the camera. And Dr. Jackie has to tell her, look, you ain't trying to fight nobody.
You ain't mad at them.
But she eventually gets it right.
Listen here, Dr. Heavenly, I got nothing against that, because I get tongue-tied, I got a lisp and all that stuff. So that's what I would have been right there struggling over my words too. You get what I'm saying? Go ahead, continue. Next,
Toya, Phaedra, and Sweet Tea arrive. Toya tries to sit down in order to do her part, and Simone tells her, no, I was here before you. So then Dr. Alicia arrives. Jackie says, y'all are late, and until you see a mother die, it's serious. She tells them to leave the room to practice their lines.
I think it was just too easy going for Jackie. Jackie wanted this to be serious, because Jackie is going to continue to tell us she talked to the vice president of the United States. She is milking this. And she feel like, guess what? It is my responsibility put on me by the vice president of the United States to make sure that I champion this cause and things of that nature. Now, here's the thing that is so interesting about this. These shows was already shot. And it's just so ironic that the debacle that she found herself in a month ago, you know what I mean, kind of fixes itself within the shows that's already recorded. So I think, like you said, not to stay on the debacle, she had a hiccup. You know what I mean? But I think in her heart of heart, she really is not a person that is breaking any codes as a doctor. Or things of that nature. That's like, I don't really care about babies or mothers. I don't think Jackie is that. You know what I'm saying? I think Jackie is strictly a doctor. And everything that means, or everything that comes with that, is what she's a doctor. She's not your doctor. She's not your favorite doctor. She's not Mr. Rogers' doctor. She is a doctor. And my job is to get the baby out safely and to keep you as safe as possible. Now, here's the thing that is so funny to me. Just in the first scene, they had a little thing. Well, let me go back. In this scene, they had a little celebration, a small thing of saying, hey, y'all, the OG's been together for 10 years. I ain't see Quad there. I ain't see Quad there. Even though Quad may have been there for 9 years, but I count her for 10 seasons and things like that. And it's so funny because in the first scene, you saw Simone having lunch with Toya. And then when Toya sit in the chair to take Simone's spot, Simone was like, oh, no, you're still Toya. Get up out that seat. Get up out that seat. You're Toya and I'm Dr. Simone. Get up out that seat. So you're like, can you get your friend Jackie? No, I'm not going to get my friend because you're Toya.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? And this is Dr. Simone. So basically, Dr. Simone get in the chair. You know what I mean? You even heard Dr. Simone say, yes, it's my goal, the doctor. You know what I mean? I understand. Go ahead, continue.
Well, next we have all the guys meet up.
My favorite
all
scene.
All the guys. Hi, Curtis.
Stop it. He's busy.
Where you been at? Oh, but you showed up for this. Okay.
He thought we going to the strip club.
All right. Well, they're all sitting, chatting, talking. They're at the cigar lounge. And Curtis asks G how he's feeling after the wedding. And G says he's very happy. Curtis brings up how they're both twins and that, they might have twins themselves.
Talk about Sweet Tea and Dr. G? Okay.
And Dr. G, he feels like they're going to be fine even with the infertility issues on the table. T shares to the ladies that she has sarcoidosis and endometriosis, and she has an upcoming surgery.
I'll tell you this right now, man. I was like, hopefully Dr. G do that before he proposed.
Yeah.
Because it'd be wild if you just spring this on me too. I'm like, are you good?
Yeah.
Like eventually I'll be like, tell me everything.
Yeah.
We going to a screening tomorrow.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Anything you thought about that scene so far?
No.
Okay, continue.
Dr.Kema, who is Dr. Alicia's husband, has been married to her for 7 years.
Nice.
He says that she's a dentist first, but she pretty much kind of hung up her dentist hat.
Uh-oh.
And he shares that he's from the old school.
Oh, me too, my brother.
He's also Nigerian.
I'm not Nigerian.
And he says, if your woman doesn't listen, you sound like a weak man. Mm-hmm. Women have been running things for too long.
Too long.
And he refuses to cut his nutsack off.
I still have my nuts.
Dr. Damon says, so you trying to say none of us got our nuts?
That's exactly what he said.
And I said, okay, he got Dr. Damon activated.
Now, here's the thing, right? Just to make sure I don't misrepresent King over here, right? He's basically giving them based on how he was raised. You get what I'm saying?
But he still feel this way.
But yes and no. So I don't want to misrepresent him 100%. I don't want to misrepresent him.
I'm just going off what he said.
But no, then you, because what he said was based on how he was raised. 'Cause he said, I'm Nigerian, and in that culture, you get what I'm saying? If a woman don't listen to you, that you are not viewed as a man. Okay. He didn't say if your woman don't listen to you, you're not viewed as a man. You're not viewed as strong. He said in that culture and things like that. Even though he's old school and things like that, I want to give him just a little wiggle room to at least censor himself and things like that. I don't want them to come after my mans. You get what I'm saying? Because he still have his nutsack, as he likes to say. Mm-hmm. And as you said, Dr. Damon took offense to that a little bit. He said, so you're trying to say all of us don't have nutsack? You even saw Dr. Eugene go, what do you mean by that? Go ahead, continue.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Kema says that's not what he's saying. In his culture, men run things.
See?
And Curtis says you're in America and the rules are different.
Now, Curtis, you got a lot to say when we just seen you for the first time since Dr. Gregory party.
Yeah, his bachelor party.
Exactly. Go ahead.
And Eugene, he pipes up and he disagrees. And I'm like, Toya, you got yourself a good one. He says women still don't get paid as much.
Okay.
Women don't get the same respect as men.
Facts.
And their same fields. Mm-hmm. And women still aren't doing as well in this country as men. Dr. Damon tells him, look, you're still a young guy, but you'll learn. We all learn from each other, and pretty much let's end this conversation.
Look, how did you feel about that conversation or like
I
that?
think Dr. Kema's just too comfortable. He's just too comfortable on TV with his little.
Does he think he at home somewhere?
Yeah, with his caveman attitude. Like he's at home chilling with his boys. Mm-hmm. You're not. You're on national television in front of a majority black audience with majority, black women, and the things that he's saying is just so out of touch and out of whack. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I doubt he cares, I guess, what the audience is going to think about it. Mm-hmm. But even the men that he's sitting around, it's like he doesn't know who he's talking to. Exactly.
He's talking to men that he may have conceived, even though he ain't going to admit it. Mm-hmm. He's talking to men who's basically in submission to their wives based on what we seen on the show. Okay. We see Cecil. He works for Simone. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? We see Dr. Eugene, even though Toya don't work, she runs him in the household and things like that based on what we seen on the show. Yeah. I'm only going by based on what we seen on the show. We see Dr. Damon, who he basically let heavily run whatever.
Run him up.
And every now and then, after scenes and scenes and scenes, Dr. Damon got to check Dr. Heavenly and be like, I don't like that. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? But that don't stop her from going on her YouTube. Mm-hmm. That don't stop her from still being Dr. Heavenly. That don't stop Dr. Heavenly from planting that seed about sweet tea in my head. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? He's talking to Curtis, who basically Jackie retired him, it seemed like. So he's talking directly and indirectly to these guys. Yeah. He's basically saying, hey, listen, while y'all women control y'all in some fashion, or y'all basically are benefiting from y'all women, I tell my women I'm not ready to leave. Mm-hmm. The men are talking 5 more minutes. Yeah. So in his reality, he lost me when he said women been running things a little too long. I said, wait a minute now.
and that's what I'm saying. Listen to the man for what he says. Don't give him no slack.
I said,
he means what he says.
I said, wait a minute now. I don't want to have my nuts. If you go on this route of women been running things too long, and basically he said there needs to be a clear leader, a man or a woman. I'm like, listen. I'm not saying women can't lead, but that just came out a little bit too raw. Yeah. I mean, you was home.
And like Dr. Damon said, he's just like, you can run your household any way you want to, but you kind of talking a little sideways.
Listen here, I know, but listen, hit dogs holler though. Hit dogs holler. And I think even with Dr. Eugene, and I think based off the show, if I only talk about the marriages that we see on the show, on the camera, hit dogs gonna holler. I think like even Dr. Eugene was like, look, man, you go learn because I choose peace. That doesn't sound like a man's man in the sense of basically like saying I'm gonna let her do whatever she wants to do because I don't want to get into it. In a caveman mentality, most men is not like, I'm not doing that. Most men don't let their woman basically decide everything. But you go learn to be quiet. You get what I'm saying? Anything else you want to take from that scene?
The ladies finished the PSA. Oh, from that scene? No. Okay. Yeah, and then we move on. The ladies finished the PSA.
Yes, this PSA, it looks good. It gives the facts. And Dr. Jackie was very happy about how it turned out. Anything you want to take from this episode in totality?
No, I'm ready for the next one. It was a decent episode, but I didn't feel like it was a whole lot to it. Yeah. What about you?
You didn't like what the man had to say about he said I enjoyed it. Okay. Toya playing that date for Dr. Eugene, you know what I mean? I like to hear, what's his name? Is it Dr.Kema?
Yeah.
I want to hear more Dr. Kema views, you know what I'm saying? Because he is interesting, you know what I mean?
I would say he is raw and very real and true to himself.
Listen, if it works for him, it works for him. Don't speak for Dr. Damon. Okay, he said, I'm not saying I'm not castrated or nothing, you know what I mean? I enjoyed it. Make sure y'all like the video, and we see you next time.
Bye.